Welcome back to some professional StarCraft 2. Let me introduce to you the proud owner of a bunker directly behind his opponent's expansion mineral line. It is the most aggressive Terran in the world. It's the Frenchman from Team Liquid. It's Clem. And expanding alongside because he was already engineering bay blocked, but no stranger to aggression from this particular opponent, the best Protoss player outside of Korea. It's the mysterious MaxPax. These two have gone back and forth so many times, I can't remember who won the last one, but this one has already started off strong. And there's not going to be much time for me to beg you to like and subscribe. Jimmy, what are we at? 1,134 likes. We'll cast another series. And we'll probably do it anyways. But thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you've had a good day so far, and hopefully you're ready to get it started. As a Marine is already hitting the shield battery, a probe is pulled out. Clem engineering bay blocked, very temporarily, but the natural in order to force a quick expansion here. And he's going to exploit that. He slapped down the bunker. Now, the Hellions are a particularly common follow-up, but just because MaxPax likely expected them doesn't make them that much less dangerous. As without the ability to have your... You simply cannot have units in two places at once. The Adepts do a pretty good job of splitting the difference. How many Adepts does it take to get to the center of a bunker? Well, I'll let you know in a few weeks when those Adepts are finally able to get rid. Okay, he got the SCV. At least we have that. But 4 Hellions here. Oracle is out to deal with this. He's just going to burn right through the Adept. Lights up the Oracle. 2 Hellions slip by. The Oracle just going to target down what it can get here. Another probe down. Phoenix comes out. Stop. Well, he's severely discouraging this. The bunker's still going. Shield battery overcharge. Yes, this is MaxPax versus Clem. MaxPax should be cleaning this up sometime soon. Bunker not salvaged in time. Marine murdered. And with great vengeance. I can't really blame him for that. What is the grand total? He gets 1 probe and 1 Adept for 2 Hellions, a Marine, an SCV, a lot of mining time potentially on that SCV. He did the engineering bay block as well, but the summary is, I don't think it was worth it. A lot of cute plays that might take a lesser player by surprise, force a mistake, but MaxPax had it locked down. He set his base up in order to minimize potential damage. The single shield battery and 2 Adepts seems to have been the answer. In fact, he didn't get distracted by the bunker. A lot of players will see a bunker. Now, many of these players are bronze, but we'll see a bunker and immediately throw everything they have at it. But the bunker was a bait, as opposed to the attack itself. And MaxPax realized that and took advantage of it, because now he understands that with the Phoenixes and the Oracle, he's got essentially full scouting of the map, as well as map control. There's not much that Clem can do without risking his units in order to, well, 1, get out on the map, and 2, get any damage done. The Hellions will slip by. Still dangerous, though. The shield battery in the main will prevent... Oh, well, ideally... he's coming back around. He gets 1. Oracle lights up. He is burning up those probes. And they are getting damaged with each hit. Immortal shows up. Where's that Robo? Oh, at the 3rd. He kind of gives away the Robo there, which is maybe... Well, he saw the Robo base, so I guess the Robo was given away by that. Clem sees no reason to hesitate now. He's got Stim finishing up. He's already got 2 medevacs on the way. A Colossus, a Phoenix. Well, the Phoenix is already in the field, but that first Colossus is going to be critical in defending against this attack. But until he has it, what is the unit count? He's got 2 Adepts, 5 Phoenixes. A hope and a prayer against these Marines. He needs that Colossus badly. It doesn't need Thermal Lance. He just needs something to keep those Marines out of his base. The Colossus is 90% done. The Marines do have Stim. The force field strongly suggests that they move somewhere else. They agree. But the Colossus comes out, targets 1 swath of Marines, and immediately Clem picks up and evades it. The Cyclone gets into the main. Somehow the revolving door of Terran units, they get it. Hello? Hello? Or 1 Colossus, 1 Immortal, and 1 adept walk into a bar. The Marine says, where's the counter? Sorry. Second Colossus on the way with extended thermal lance. Widow mines actually being built here, as Clem has punched out his first Marauders as well. In fact, this is a little awkward. The Oracle. Oh, the Phoenix is intercepting the Spylon in front there. I don't know if it's spotted, but getting one of the medevacs? Wait, did he get one? He did not. Widow mine picked up, knocked down immediately. Beautifully done. Good target fire. Picks up all of the mines here. He does have detection, I believe. He has to with this. He doesn't have to... I guess he caught it right before it fired. Or before it burrowed, rather. But Clem just getting dismantled here. Cut to pieces by the Phoenixes and roasted by the Colossi. Colossus, rather. If he waits around too long. Just sending all the medevacs past. Oracle found 6 kills before it ran out of energy. It's going from dangerous to desperate for Clem. He needs to do damage soon. As MaxPax has 5 gates done. He's got a Templar Archives on the way. He spotted this army. Already setting up. There is no armory here. So with no armory, that means the Widow Mines, well, should only be able to fire once. Vikings are on the way, but MaxPax's supply is about to skyrocket here, as he's going to have all those gates ready to go and enough economy to use them. Clem does have a 3rd. Yeah, 4th base is on the way. MaxPax adding even more. So many medevacs out here. 8 medevacs. I mean, good anticipation. Another Colossus. 3 Colossi so far, which is the ragged edge of being able to fight with just the ground army. Once you get to 4 Colossi, it's... even the Marauders are struggling. MaxPax. Well, he hasn't built probes for quite a while. Been focusing on unit production. He's got 1,000 minerals in the bank. Maybe waiting to see what he does with his next warp-in. He decides on some zealots. Ah, he was waiting for the warp-in to the main. The charge lot's heading in. Clem has nothing. Brings the Widow Mines back. Scrambles directly into the main base, but the charge lots have dragged the army back. Charge lots at the 3rd as well. The Widow Mines threatening to hit his own SCVs. MaxPax's going to try to intercept the army outside the natural. Roast through a couple mines. Still has the Phoenixes to zone out the Vikings. And really does need to do so. Will do so for now. Charge lots warped into the main yet again. Clem being divided here and very much at risk of being conquered. The Colossi roasting through the mineral line. The choke point is being immolated right now. The Ghosts just walk up an EMP. And MaxPax, well... the Phoenixes are winning against the Vikings. There's not enough of the ground army. 34 SCVs down. And it looked a little dicey at the end, but not nearly enough to stop MaxPax from such a solid game one. He handled that bunker. He handled the NG Bay block. He handled the Hellions. And he handled Clem. And not in a fun way, alright? But instead, just slapping down every attempt at aggression. Always tenuous against the menagerie of Terran options in the early game. But MaxPax has gone from literally being known for a cheese, the MaxPax build, which not quite a cheese, but pretty damn close to it, to one of the most solid Protoss, if not. Honestly, a lot of the time, I like how he goes about the defense better than Hero. Hero who's more consistently ranked at that highest level. I think because Hero, well, 1, he's playing in all the tournaments, and 2, is more a riskier player a lot of the time, which sometimes pays off. But they kind of go back and forth in the rankings. There was a PvP match between Hero and MaxPax just recently. Now PvP is like playing Russian roulette on a tightrope, which everyone loses, I guess, is what I'm getting at. Jimmy, can we bring up the matchup guide? Thank you. Well. But I wouldn't take it as a great indicator. Like Clem, for example. His Terran versus Zerg is... He beats Cyril. His Terran versus Protoss is a bit more tenuous. And his Terran versus Terran leaves a lot to be desired. I guess Cyril is also in that camp when it comes to the mirror matchups. But they are just an entirely different beast, it feels like, than the more asymmetrical ones. What was I getting to? MaxPax has become such a solid player. It's actually... I keep expecting him to be coming out with this, like, 3-gate aggression or something. But it's just that's what we were first introduced to him with. But he's evolved. What are we gonna see? He's setting up for a tech building here. It looks like a Twilight in Game 2. As he chrono boosts out the Stalker. Play ring around the Nexus. Yep. Which is... always feels a little silly. Even more so as the Protoss. Reaper manages to avoid the Adept because the Nexus... it has slightly more range and the Nexus is quite wide. Reaper trying to bait the Adept into sticking around, but MaxPax not taking it. He has a Stalker back at home if he's desperate for defense against that early Reaper. Stalker comes out. Is he actually gonna... He bounces the Stalker away and jumps into the main. Wow. Styling on him. Absolutely ridiculous. The confidence with which he came into that is the most offensive part. Literally and figuratively. He went in saying, I will bounce that Stalker over my head while I stutter step and kill a probe, and then jump into the main, breaking vision until I can scout. And then, maybe then, I can die. Which is, you know, quite an action sequence, but just it was a Tuesday. Well, probably a Monday, considering this is the ESL Cup Finals for Clem. Blink Robotics Facility. The classic 4-gate Robo here on Gresvin. MaxPax wants to try to get some damage done, potentially just end the game outright, if well executed. A single Whittle Mine in a medevac. Still a game-ending potential. We'll see how it goes. Oh, near perfect micro. Leaves the Adept very, very stressed out, but still alive, most importantly. Spylon spots the medevac. That's what it's here for. Hellion spotted as well, but this will pin at least a couple Stalkers back. He can't know exactly how many mines are in that medevac. Or if technically there don't have to be any at all. But he is suspicious, at the very least. So keeps 2 Stalkers back. And that will lessen the blow of the Blink Stalker aggression here. As some of them anchored at home. Still plenty, potentially, to do damage. Pulling the SCVs, but they're not on auto repair. MaxPax giving him maybe too much credit. As he just targets down. Oh, the mine gets 4 kills and scampers out. Oh, he came in at exactly the time the Stalkers blinked in. Is the mine going to escape? And, okay, the MaxPax tried to split his Stalkers to both kill the medevac and the mine. He's chasing the mine across the map. This is the B plot of this game so far. Blinking back with the Prism, but comes in with another swath of Stalkers and swipes the Raven out of the sky. The medevac is taking an awkward pathing on the way back here. A second tank, though. It's gonna make things more difficult. Siege is up. Clem commits 2 of his tanks. MaxPax will rotate around. He's taken a 3rd Nexus behind this, but he only has 42 probes. So really, MaxPax has to get some damage done here. No other follow-up tech, no charge, no robo-bang. It has to be something. There's a single tank. He eats a shot with the blink forward. Oh, beautifully done. But there's still a lot of Terran to contend with. And another tank. Sieging up. Is in vision. He blinks forward. We'll get 2 shots. Not quite. Another tank sieges. But great snipes here. Just beautiful blink micro from MaxPax. But at the end of the day, will it be too costly? He gets one of the add-ons. Another tank is in production. Oh, that tank goes forward. He blinks forward. He just slices it. Carves it away from Clem. The bio army is starting to get strong enough to drive things back. But he's uninstalled a lot of the add-ons. As well as shaved off not 1 but 3 tanks. Just beautiful blink micro out of MaxPax. Both these players are so confident in their micro. I think that's the standout here for me so far, is how incredibly confident. And a lot of these moves, a lot of these attacks require you can't second guess it. You just have to trust you're going to do it right the first time, because you don't get a second chance. There's no point in checking. And this sort of blink micro, the Reaper micro, the Widowmine drop and follow-up. Well, I don't think he can do it again. Oh, he comes in with 4 Stalkers, yanks him back with the Prism. He's keeping Clem busy, and look at the probe count behind him. He didn't kill that many SCVs, only 6 in total. But with 3 Nexi up, MaxPax has bullied Clem off the map for long enough with the Blink Stalkers here in order to pull himself back into the economic lead. Not by much, but by enough to be competitive. Stalkers taking what they can get now pretty much. Clem actually, well, at this point, salvaging both bunkers. He has more than enough Marauders to drive the Stalkers away. Trying to micro back, juggling. Concussive nabs another. He keeps trying to reach for more. Because as soon as you tag one of those Stalkers, it either has to blink away or die. And one or the other has to happen very quickly. Yep, another Stalker down, but the Colossus is out. Blinks forward, has enough time. And we got a warping. Some charge lots into the 3rd. Nothing set up here to defend. SCVs will go down. Charge lots dropping on the tank at the natural. MaxPax undercutting Clem back at his home base. And the entire army just coming back. I think he realized he wasn't going to make much progress against the already fielded Colossi, though. So he decides to come back and crush as many of these Zealots as possible. And Clem, it may have looked dangerous, but it was mostly superficial damage. As loses 12 SCVs, but keeps his army intact. MaxPax now starting to take a significant income lead. He's at 70 probes, building 4 at a time. About to finish his +1 ground weapons as well. And Clem, while he has +1 attack, ooh, are there enough Marines for the Warp Prism? Viking finds it. Alright, we'll get it in time. There's a couple Zealots in there. He's gonna try to warp in before the Viking finishes it off. And he gets it! And actually, Clem panics. He didn't realize that that was even a threat. Doesn't even knock down the Prism. Now finishes it off, but MaxPax with a 3-pronged attack here. Hitting every side simultaneously. He's in the natural. He's at the 3rd. And the attack in the main has clearly drawn him out of position. The triple force field may have been overdoing it, but 15 SCVs down. Clem's supply, his army supply, is still massive. But he's down to 46 SCVs. Which leaves him with a very uncomfortable timing. He's essentially all in here. He does not have the economy to sustain this forever. I know mules are good, but they're not quite that good. As MaxPax now has, yeah, the mules will catch up some of the ground here. He is rebuilding SCVs. He's building Ghosts and Vikings, the core parts of this late game army composition. But despite MaxPax and Clem's efforts, we will be dragged past 150 supply into the later game. I take it back. Well, I don't take it back. I still think MaxPax is in a commanding economic position. It's just that Clem doesn't feel like it's a higher percentage play to move out. There is a chance, and not a small one, that MaxPax overcommits. How many times have we seen the Protoss army step one toe too far and get its legs swept out from under it? Plenty. Even MaxPax. But the Marauders, Clem's attempt out on the map, and oh my god, beautifully done. Sends in some charge lots. There's always a kicker here. As MaxPax knows, whatever he can do to drag Clem's attention away from the infinitely microable Marine Marauder medevac composition, that's another second that his units can do real damage. Even the Marauders getting roasted here. The medevacs don't have time to heal. Disruptors come up, knock out a Widowmine. Only a couple Vikings. Oh, wait, but there's more. Blinks in, tries to box him out. Here comes Clem, but wait, there's more. There's a kicker of Zealots into the natural, in towards the third. Clem is chasing down the Colossi, though. He wants to just wipe out the army at this point. The Vikings will knock down another. There's only one left standing, and that will be smashed as well. The Disruptor takes out the Widowmine at the very least, but the charge lots are still I don't even know where they're coming from. He just ran them all the way across the map, it looks like. But 8 more SCVs down. Clem, he takes 2 steps forward, but he has to take at least 1 back. 10 gates and counting for MaxPax. He's got 5 bases. He's now got 170 to 130 supply. But he can't quite land the killing blow. 91 probes. Honestly, pushing it a bit towards that absolute max. Well, it looks like he's packed up his army, though. He's sending another wave of charge lots, but a Widowmine drop. Gonna help MaxPax out with that overwhelming probe count. Disruptor. Softens things up. Or at least forces the microwave. More charge lots have to be dealt with. Micro's back. Disruptor shots, flinging them out. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's just running out of real estate. There's no Liberators here, and without him, yeah, Clem getting his army shaved off. A couple Marines at a time. Another Disruptor targeted. Another Disruptor finds air. I'm not going to commentate each individual Disruptor hit. I'll just give you the oohs and ahs of it. Ah! Ooh. I mean, like and subscribe for honesty, I guess. Stalker gets its leg clipped by the Ruptor, but another volley is flung out, and the salvo knocks Clem out of the game. It's a GG and a 2-0 for MaxPax so far. Beautifully done. Honestly, one of the most solid high-level Protoss. He's making Clem look like he can't get anything. Clem rarely looks this impotent. Clem always finds something. And even there, you could see some of the danger. But at the end of the day, MaxPax wasn't having it. He didn't overcommit even when he lost his Colossi, which are kind of a liability, to be honest, in the later game. He was filling in Disruptors, and he did so many counterattacks that Clem just had to keep coming back. It's so frustrating as Terran. The one thing you are missing for your bio army is a recall button. And now in game 3, maybe Clem needs to find the reset button on this series and see what he can do to even things out. Ancient Cistern. Nice, wide open map. Probe, the only thing sent out early. God, that Blink Stalker micro is so good. Like, it's so hard to do that and maintain. Like, even MaxPax, I've never seen, I don't think, MaxPax at quite that level. Almost perfect in dealing with the tanks and the decision making and the target fire. The amount of times, like, setting up a single blink in very quickly to eat the first tank shot and immediately blinking in with the rest of the Stalkers a split second later to get maximum DPS and minimum damage. I'm sure I missed a lot of the little details as well. But they add up and gave MaxPax, well, he had to carve his way back into it economically, and he gave himself more than enough space. Very impressive. Reaper. Gonna take a look around. Adept going to strongly suggest it does not do so. Clem trying to bait it. Oh, oh my god. Wow. I thought Clem was hesitating, but he actually timed that so perfectly that the Reaper lives. Probe tries to come in. He puts one tag on these two SCVs. You might be like, well, what's the point of that? A little bit of love tap. That is enough to two-shot them with the Adept. That one little zap out of the probe puts them in two-shot range. Because Adepts do exactly enough damage in 2 attacks to leave Marines and SCVs with 1 HP. Oh, Reaper Hellion coming up, though. Adept shades by, finishes up, and recalls immediately. Clem heads back the other way. Oracle on the way. So while the Reaper Hellion did soften up those Adepts, I think MaxPax handling this once again incredibly well. He's going to have the Oracle out if anything slips by, or just be able to send it across the map. Just such a... The mind games and the micro between these two are so ridiculous. It's exhausting just trying to keep track of. Because they're kind of cycling through fight or flight, or sometimes both, within a split second every time. And there was the literal example of it. Fight and flight. Unfortunately for MaxPax, split-second hesitation means that the Cyclone takes out the Oracle. He's only able to nab, I believe, 1 SCV kill. Well, besides the one the Adept got there. And that leaves him with a bit of a tenuous defense. Reaper picked up, slapped down. Single shield battery on the way. 2 Adepts. Locks on the 1. And a micro forward, trying to kill it before the shield battery, but interrupted by the Phoenixes. A bit forward there. Phoenix is easily able to pick off that Cyclone. Immortal on the way. Clem with a 3rd command center behind this. So he's not nearly committed to any sort of all-in. There's no stim. There's no combat shield. There's no Widow Mines or something. Just trying to keep MaxPax busy. MaxPax not taking the bait. Sends his Phoenixes across the map. But with a Viking here, the Viking can potentially drop down and do a bunch of extra damage to the Stalkers and Immortals, but also to zone the Phoenixes. Oh, he grabs a tank, but they repair it in the air. Why can't SCVs attack the air if they can repair? Shut up! Shut up, Billy! Nobody asked. I'm asking. You're nobody. I'm sorry. The landed Viking tries to dodge the Phoenixes, but is lifted back up into the sky and will die there. Always a bit ironic. MaxPax. He gets another Cyclone. The Cyclone forced back down. Micros it back. What a save! What a save! 2 siege tanks. And that 1 Cyclone adding a lot of damage. The Immortal Barrier is triggered. Trying to get the Viking. Gets it. Locks on again. That 1 HP Cyclone is so annoying to deal with. It's the most efficient zoning tool he has right now. Gonna try... Oh my god. Oh my god. Well, technically... Wait. Here comes another... No! The Immortal from the wrong side! He gets the Cyclone. But wait, who's trapping who? He's trying to lift it up. Juggling the tank back. Gets the medevac. Immortal dies. That was definitely a mistake out of MaxPax sending the Immortal there, but he still ends up making the most of it. Kills the Cyclone. Kills the medevac. Scan also got the Observer as well. Meanwhile, during the fight, So much going on, almost missed it. MaxPax still sharking around the Vikings. Whew. MaxPax knows how dangerous Vikings can be as a Danish player. Not going to underestimate them. That damage adds up. Honestly, Vikings a nice catch-all here, as he knows robo units on the field. Colossi, obviously very wary of the Vikings. Phoenixes are not really that hard of a counter to him, as the Phoenix, they are not light units. They're quite hefty, or armored, as we're apparently calling it nowadays. So they don't take the extra bonus damage, and they do 2 attacks, which means armor applies twice. So armor in general very good, and also why the weapons upgrades are sometimes necessary for Phoenixes in the more air-oriented games, which we still have a potential to take to. Alright, Siege Tanks and Vikings, and just now getting stim. 1-1 on the way. We finally settled down and decide on some upgrades, because upgrades that never finish aren't very useful in these early game aggressions. But it seems clear the game will go on a little bit longer, and those upgrades may pay off. Alright. Phoenix is still looking for an opportunity. Extended Thermal Lance is finished up. Four more gates. Disruptor and +1 ground weapons alongside charge in production for MaxPax. Clem has locked down his triangle bases, all 3. He's got 70 SCVs. MaxPax 69 probes. Very nice number as he goes in towards his 4th base at the 12 o'clock. Army standing tall by the 3rd. 3 Colossi. Few disruptors being added in. The gate count, oh, only going up to 6. I thought he had more by now, but it has been a very high-tech game. Phoenixes softened up a bit, but picks off a couple Marines. Keeps them honest, and very importantly, keeps track of where those Marines are. One of the Marines slipping by, scouting MaxPax's northern base. Vikings patrolling, Phoenixes sticking to their side of the map. It appears we're taking our macro turn here, after a relatively small amount of losses, but very intense micro in the early game. Both players very keen on keeping those high-tech units alive. Total is going to be 6 Phoenixes against 6 Vikings for now. Ghosts and Widow Mines in production. Ground weapons level 1 about to complete. And the Disruptor fires a shot. Gets 1 Marine. 2-2 begins for Clem as he marches towards 200 supply. MaxPax not far behind, 170 to 176. Favor of the Frenchman. Another base being taken. Good mini-map coverage right now for MaxPax. He's got vision off of most of the right side of the map, which is going to be important. Oh, I thought that was double medevac. It was 2 Vikings hunting for a prism. Bob, we can see you there. No, you can't. You just talked, Bob. No, I didn't. I don't have a mouth. Good point. And Vikings were found. And eventually the Phoenixes make their way across the map, but the real action in the middle here. These skirmishes will continue. Both players in this sort of scenario, I imagine, will be sending out constant counterattacks, anything to drag attention away, as the fights at this stage of Terran versus Protoss can be almost instantaneously game-ending, as Clem is determined to demonstrate. Well, he manages to turn around in time. A Disruptor, a set of EMPs, a Widow Mine or 2, and the fight. Whoa, the tank's actually boxing in a lot of Clem's units. Trapped in a prison of his own design, the siege tanks corralling the Marauders. He loses a chunk. MaxPax is maxed out. He's ready to go. There's no reason not to fight right now. There's not that much tech more to wait for. I guess his basic upgrades, but there's no reason not to look for a good angle, a good disruptor shot, a way to kill that army. How many gates now? We're looking at 8, adding 4 more. Dark Shrine, Blink on the way. And now we got the Fusion Core. Wait, Fusion Core. Though very likely for advanced ballistics, unfortunately, as Clem is almost never one to go battle cruise in late game. I'd love for so many reasons to be wrong, but it's very likely for Liberators, as those are much more nuanced and, not to mention, cheaper, easier to fill in. Ship weapons level 1, about to complete. Ship weapons level 2, that big break point where you can 2-shot stalkers, 1 shot if EMP washes over them. It's just a huge damage upgrade for those. Disruptor flung through. Another shot, looking to zone out. The Colossi burning through some of the bio army here, but the Vikings are closing in. Knocks down another one. Oh my god! Parts the Red Sea, and Clem does nothing here. MaxPax cannot land a shot as Clem finds the open field. And he's easily able to negate those disruptor shots. Just dodge, bro. Alright, more EMP disruptor. The Zealots have to get out of the way. Another shot. That one just zoning. A single tank. Picks it up. Knocked down immediately by the Vikings. Gets a single ghost with the Ruptor. More shots. Decent-ish. 2 ghosts. And he keeps clipping his way through, but even with all he dodges, oh my god. Clem more like Neo over here, dodging disruptor shots like it's his job. Which it technically is, but still. Oh my god. These danger balls. No, Clem, oh my, come on. He's just hit one shot. Could end the game, but Clem just isn't getting hit. 2 Marines. I don't count that one. Oh, another one. That one in danger of hitting MaxPax's army. I don't have much commentary for this. You don't know if he's going to dodge until the last, like, split second. The last 1/10 of a second before the disruptor. And even then, there's still an opportunity to pick up those units out of the way. Rapid reignition thrusters immediately followed up. The medevac speed upgrade. Yes, it exists. I don't know why more Terrans don't get it. Maybe they're just playing fair. Medevacs are already amazing. But finally, recognizing the worth. Another shot. This one microed away. Clem just locking things down. The blank DTs tried to come in, but a couple tanks, bunch of bio, plenty of detection. And some Liberators said, nah, I don't think so. Another DT taken out. Disruptors firing around the corner. Targeted on the edge. Rapid reignition thrusters closing in. Blank DTs desperately trying to get some damage done. But what is even the target here? Well, the target is going to be this planetary. Disruptor shot flung through. Gets a Marauder. Trying to zone out the Vikings. He picks them up into the air. Oh my god. MaxPax has lost almost double the minerals and gas as Clem continues to demonstrate how all you have to do is dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge. And the disruptors and their dastardly deeds will have an absolutely dangerously despairing day. Kind of lost track of it there at the end, but so did most of the disruptor shots, so I feel like I'm in good company. 3 more shots. Fires off 2. Gets a chunk. He leans into it and doesn't get the target fire in time. But both sides are taken to the skies. Carriers. Well, will it be carriers, actually? He's got a fleet beacon on the way. The fleet beacon in production. Tempest or carriers? I think he's at high enough economy. Carriers, I think, are better if you can get them in a decent number while still having a high economy, as they do force the issue a lot better than Tempests do. But Tempests have the range And they don't cost you extra money. Like, you don't get taxed for sending out units after building it. So we'll see momentarily. MaxPax is maxed out. Though, the EMP hitting the orbital there as well. Trying to free up some of that supply. Clem, just a madness. Just a madness game. That's the terminology I'm gonna use. A madness game indeed. Chaos being controlled, but just barely. It's gonna be Tempest to start. Zealots trying to come in. Vikings have gotten such value. God, the Vikings. This has been, so far, one of the highest level series I've ever seen. These two are ridiculous. Absolutely incredible micro. It's just Clem really maximizing his units and paximizing his opponent. Okay, stop trying to fit that pun into this particular liberation zone. It's not gonna happen. The liberators need to be dealt with. The Tempests are on the way. The mass ghost composition. The disruptors just can't get close enough. Or Prism knocked down. The disruptors on the back line. He has to fire them off so they don't get popped, but easily sidestepped. MaxPax tried to put what he can on the field, but the ghosts, they don't take extra damage from the Colossi. So without the disruptor shots, actually just still a pretty solid counter. EMP always good, but as just an auto-attacking unit, here come the Vikings. Liberators sieging up. The Tempest might be too little, and they might be too late, as the Vikings are already working their way through everything. MaxPax getting driven back by the overwhelming fields of liberation. The Venn diagram of freedom encompasses all the stalkers, and the Tempests are not able to deal with it in time. A disruptor tries again, but they just aren't landing. Oh, finally! Finally, Clem looks the wrong way. He looks back, and he gets a shot across the face. But is it enough? How many ghosts? 16 ghosts have died this game. A nuke is on the way. 2 more ghost academies. I think that tells you how Clem feels about this game. Colossi, Tempest. Clem has money in the bank and he's building nukes. I think the Vikings have been the true MVPs, even against the ground army here. The ghosts have been great. The bio army, of course. But the Vikings dodging disruptor shots has taken it for me. MaxPax is going to try to put up 1 more defense. He doesn't have the money for anything else. Clem is still comfortable in his supply and his bank and his control. It's not that MaxPax has made big mistakes, it's just Clem has not left him an opening to really take advantage of his unit composition. There's not much sugarcoating it. Disruptors are great right up until... Disruptors... How do I want to phrase this? Disruptors rely on the Terran making a mistake. And just because the rest of us do, doesn't mean Clem will. As they simply don't have the guaranteed damage. They are not guaranteed to hit anything. Unlike some other units. And right now Clem is on the open field, dodging the disruptors to such an extent that MaxPax simply can't fight. Did he take too long getting the sky toss? Was there some fight he could have taken better? A unit composition he could have chosen? It's hard to imagine it. MaxPax with the Tempest count starting to chip away at Clem's army. More guaranteed damage in those Tempests. Even carriers in production. MaxPax, it's not over yet. I'm talking like the game's about to end. It's felt like Clem has had the momentum. But he whittled down the army. Well, MaxPax still struggling to make any progress towards actually killing Clem's bases. And at the end of the day, I think that might be the deciding factor. Is that the Tempest base, he's getting tectonic destabilizers for that bonus building damage. which seems necessary to deal with the turrets, the planetary fortresses. The Ventria scan here. As with 9 orbitals, you pretty much always have a scan. And use that little high ground location, knock down a Tempest. Very hard for the Stalkers to get into position to defend. Disruptor shot. Vikings trying to fight. Honestly, taking a lot of damage from the Tempest. But Clem can afford it. He's maxed. He's got the money. He's got the income lead. A DT. Actually doing a lot of damage to a planetary, but on the high ground here, he's not as vulnerable to the Ruptors. They're terrestrially bound. And the Terran Republic is coming through for the Terrans. Vikings flying right over the top. Another Disruptor. That one finds a hit. Another one popped. Tectonic destabilizers will finish. There are no Tempests left to enjoy it. There's just not enough here. He cannot fight. He cannot hold. Clem strikes back in game 3. A hard-fought, just ridiculously high level, insanely good micro, immaculate control. And Clem is able to keep himself in the series. An exhausting one. That just means we have more. No, that wasn't the dramatic conclusion. No, that's just Clem staying on the board. All right. Game 4. Let's just jump in. No more rehashing to be done. Just regular hashing now. As these two just cut each other to pieces. God. I will say, Clem makes it look unfair sometimes. Like, the amount of value, he made those disruptors look absolutely useless. Every now and again, just seeing them hit kind of highlights all the ones that don't. But dodging disruptor shots with Vikings? Are you kidding me? How come whenever I fight disruptors, I lose 24 supply of bio, and my Vikings fly into all the Stalkers? What's up with that, Clem? Alright, you want to explain that one? A skill issue. Probe inconveniences the SCV as it tries to build a command center. Clem did scout. Not doing the no scout greed this game. Gonna make sure the MaxPax isn't up to no good, but MaxPax has played a straight edge macro series this whole time. And that will continue on to Babylon. I do have to point out, that was our first straight edge macro game. There. Between these two. And Clem does end up taking it quite decisively. Now he's gonna go for the triple command center. Because if a little greed is good, then more greed is better. That's just simple math. Twilight on the way. MaxPax. Is this blank? Yeah, straight up blank. Which Clem has gone 3cc. How much has MaxPax seen? He didn't see the third command center. It's in position. I think it... very intentionally. If the Adept completed the shade, he'd see it. This command center being there is specifically out of vision range of the shade. my god, he's staggering Adept Shades in. This is ridiculous. It doesn't seem like a big detail, but it's actually incredibly hard to manage this without fumbling the Adept Shades on one side or the other. I think that's the right word for it, too. Definitely fumbling. That's what it feels like. Alright, Clem gonna try to come down, but MaxPax reacts with plenty of time. Alright, coming back around. Might complete one. Threatens it. They're dancing back and forth. Just. Oh, and he gets him. He gets him. He canceled the shade. And he still gets away. His comeback's off at the last second. It's gonna be a triple Rex. 3 Rex timing here, which actually goes right up against. This is one of the harder counters to Blink Stalkers. You get enough Marauders, you get stim in a timely manner, you just smack the Stalkers out of the game. No amount of finesse is going to deal with this sledgehammer of a strategy. Well, some amount, but I think an amount that is unrealistic for against Clem. Yeah, Blink is done. There's gonna be 10 Stalkers here momentarily. Adept gets into the main, spots the Marauders. So at least MaxPax won't blindly blink in. Maybe he tries for the natural. Oh, he's gonna just trade. Oh, losing one Stalker to start juggling here. But I think he knows it's very unlikely to break through. Keeps most of the HP on the Stalkers besides that one initial mistake. Ends up keeping them all alive. He could try a blink in. Ghetto blinks back. Oh my god, he's double blink. He's blinking and he's blinking with the prism. Does fumble another. You gotta be real careful here. If he loses the prism or more than a couple Stalkers, Clem will walk across the map and kill him. No doubt. Here come the medevacs. MaxPax does need to keep him busy as long as possible. If he can get any damage done, that'd be great. He's gonna rely on just pure Stalker here. I think MaxPax thinks, wow, big brain. Think he thinks. Therefore he is. That was optimistic. Some of the Stalkers took the wrong path. I think MaxPax, nope, stop thinking. Start doing. Wait, no, I'm casting. Where were we? He saw the Marauders and kind of jumped the gun. Kind of panicked a bit. Clem, still bleeding, but the medevacs are out. Alright. Charge is on the way. This is when, alright, the reckoning. These Marauders and Marines have been getting poked and prodded. They're in deep autumn colors here. Orange and red and yellow. Oh my. But with the medevacs out, they will heal up, though it'll probably take most of the energy. MaxPax now buying as much time as he can. Here comes the prism. Into the main. Viking stays alive for now. Gets 2 SCVs, delays some more production, but the drop into the main to undercut MaxPax's aggression. Clem, perfect choice here. Picked just the right amount of units so he could defend at home, but keep MaxPax very busy. And indeed he will. There's nothing here. He can get one of the pylons, warps in a few more Stalkers, drags the rest back to deal with this, and gets out with plenty of HP on the medevac. More gateways are finishing. Charge is about to complete, but +1 attack is nearly done. Clem backs off. The patience here. I think realizing that this is kind of the second phase of the attack where MaxPax could be dangerous. Right as Charge finishes up, he gets a bunch of gates online. No reason to risk it. Clem actually has 67 SCVs to just 58 probes. Now, you might not know the exact number, but this sort of strategy that MaxPax has been doing is not a high economy one. MaxPax gonna try to catch him on the map. Zealots. And, oh, single Marine forces a warping. MaxPax has a lot of supply, but he has no upgrades. His unit composition is, not good. Just gate units. Marines at the back. Enough stalkers. He still gets a stalker here. The Marine Marauder. Ready to move out. He knows enough supplies back at home. The Zealot's coming in, but no, it ain't happening. War Prism. MaxPax is trying everything. He's got War Prism. He had a Zealot counter. He's poking and prodding with the Blink Stalkers. He's trying to keep this freight train from coming across. But it's getting more and more difficult to keep Clem at bay. Where did that Medevac slips in? The Widowmines to zone out the Zealot counters. Cutting off another one as well here at the 4th. Drops the rocks to make it even harder to flank the army. This is just... Is this army... There's one Marine and like 16 Marauders. Disruptor's on the way. I mean, I don't think Clem's too scared of 1 or 2 Disruptors, but gets a War Prism. The Medevac's caught here. The Disruptor is spotted. Very important. Able to stem away. MaxPax, another warp in here. He's got his +1 done. No 2-2. Ooh, Disruptor. Crypt some Marines. Force field, he tries to zone out. Vikings on deck. Nothing left for them to hit. Disruptor shot. Widowmine on the way back. Gets 2 Stalkers. Clem is maxed out. He's got Ghosts. He hasn't started 2-2, but even the SCVs, the boys are here. And they're angry. I don't think they're angry. They're probably not. They're pretty chill. Sorry. Clem is actually playing quite... I'm not going to say timid, but he's playing incredibly cautious for this state of the game, as he is maxed out. He's waiting for the angle here. Forces MaxPax to come around, caught between a rock and a hard place. EMPs to open things up. Throws another one out. Yeah, he keeps pulling back. Another EMP. He can fight, just heads up. Another army. Disruptor shots. Oh my god. And MaxPax doesn't even let that last one complete. It ain't gonna happen. We're going to game 5. Oh, wow. All right. Well, a dramatic exchange. But this time around, I think Clem, he anticipated the blink, and he was more than ready. That build just butchers it. It took quite a while. MaxPax kept him at bay, but I think that was Clem out of an overabundance of caution, as opposed to MaxPax having such ridiculous, incredible micro that Clem felt like he couldn't move out. He just played it safe, and he locked it down. And that brings us to Game 5. The ace match between these two. I think appropriate. MaxPax with 2 solid, comfortable victories. Then Clem returning fire with 2 of his own. Like, Game 3 and 4, while they were great back and forth games, I think we're clearly trending in Clem's direction for much of them. Same with games 1 and 2 for MaxPax. So, does it tilt back to the most mysterious of Protoss? Or does the Frenchman hold strong and the momentum carry him through to a 3-2? Find out more. Well, right now, all right? Like and subscribe. If you made it this far and you haven't yet, it'd be awesome if you could. Thank you for watching. I'm excited for this. This has been a great series, though. The split between the build, both the mind games on the build orders, the micro, of all the games that are worth going back and, like, really picking apart the details, this is really high up there. I think part of it is both these players being incredibly, like, possibly the best micro players of their race. And part of it is they play each other literally all the time. This has become the most regular. This is the dark versus hero of Europe. All right, Reaper slips away from the Adept. Adept heads across. Wait, a Zealot. Okay, I'm sorry. Oh my. Dodges the Zealot with the bunker. Some of the cutest. Here comes an Adept. Oh my god, here we go again. And he pops out of the bunker to continue building the command center. He might even finish it. Trying to make sure he can dodge the shots with the bunker. Does so. Reaper still finding damage. Oh my god, he's trying to dodge Adept shots. And the Reaper gets the Adept. He might be able to finish the command center. Another Adept. Oh, he gets in. He gets the SCV. But 2 Hellions come out. Another SCV coming down. Adept shades away. Trying to... The Zealot is taken out. The SCV will finish what his brother started in a ring around the rosy of micro intensity. I don't know who came out ahead. Besides the fact that Clem only lost 1 SCV for a Zealot and an Adept does seem quite costly, but he did delay the command center significantly. So that is definitely a victory in and of itself. MaxPax spotted the starport on the way. The Adept will just be killed by the Reaper Hellion, but he picks up. There's still 1 Hellion, which is dangerous. He picks that one up as well. Knocked down. Both sides will deal with the aggression. And now we'll have to play the rest of the game. But oh my god. They are not slowing down. If anything, we're heating up. As that was the most dramatic early game. Even including the pseudo bunker rush in game 1. I say the most dramatic early game is clearly now. 3rd command center. 3rd nexus is almost certainly on the agenda for MaxPax after he gets these Phoenixes in and spots the 3rd CC. Did he see it?
Engaging the enemy.
Yes. Very important. He's not? He actually... Maybe I'll take the other nexus. Interesting. Gonna shave off some of the Marines. Meanwhile, the Banshee makes its way into the main. There is no shield battery. He wasn't expecting the casual Banshee, but the casual Banshee was here for him. Gonna get... trying to target down those last probes. 6 probe kills. And drags the Phoenixes back across the map. Which is a small victory on top of the rather large one of the probe kills. And very importantly, MaxPax does not have a 3rd nexus. He just now started it. As Clem's 3rd nexus. Nope, doesn't have one of those. That'd be pretty overpowered. 3rd command center just finished up. So Clem, economically, in a great spot. And was able to keep MaxPax busy for long enough to get most of his infrastructure up. He's got his 3rd nexus. That's just in my head now. All right, it's stuck there. There's going to be Nexi cropping up everywhere now. All right, 3rd barracks completed. Double engineering bay is done as well. So double upgrades. Really focused on that ground army. Going to explode in production if MaxPax gives him the time to do so. Right now, he doesn't have the upgrades. He doesn't even have anything out of his starport. Or at least he doesn't have anything out of his reactored starport. There's Phoenixes. There's a Colossus. MaxPax is going to put himself out there. I think recognizing that there's a window to do damage now. It's relatively thin, but it's definitely there. As Clem does not have much production, has no upgrades, and right now MaxPax has a potentially deadly army. That Phoenix count, 8 Phoenixes, lifts 2 tanks. Clem, so much in the mail, but so little delivered so far. Not targeting the Colossus with the Vikings. There's just not that many ground units left. 4 MaxPax here. He only kills 4 SCVs. Surprisingly mediocre damage so far. Immortal goes down. The Vikings come out. Okay. Well, that looked a lot scarier than it ended up being. Clem just holds. He lost the tanks, but the Colossus is hunted down. And now it's Clem's turn. Why not? Wow. Well, MaxPax thought he could do some damage. I thought he could do some damage, and Clem taught us both otherwise. As here we go again. Both of them just... Well, the defender's advantage is coming through strong. This is definitely tilts in favor of Clem now, though. As MaxPax committed his early units, all he had were those Phoenixes and Colossus. That was what he invested the early game into. He lost them all, and he did it before Clem was even at peak production. He did it before Clem had 5 barracks online. He did it before Clem finished his 1-1 upgrades. Now MaxPax has to play catch-up on all those fronts. He's only got 4 gates, adding a few more. +1 attack is halfway done. Blank halfway there as well. 4th Nexus is on the way. But economically, Clem 69 to 67 workers. MaxPax still definitely in this game, but it's going to be a figurative and possibly literal uphill battle. Clem is setting himself up so well to defend against the potential Zealot counterattacks. The Zealots don't have charge. More Prism finishes up. Disruptor is on the way. Oh, the army's already here. That's a lot of Stim Marines and Marauders. He pops the overcharge. It ain't gonna happen. Clem has arrived. He's tearing through everything. MaxPax has to give it up. He doesn't even have charge on the way. 1 Disruptor. A Hail Mary. Maybe this one will get the damage done. Clem sieges the tanks, anticipating the blink. Immediately unsieges after the blink out. MaxPax re-expands over to the left side, but Clem is landing his 4th command center as we speak. 10 minutes in. +2 already on the way for Clem. All the advantages going to the Frenchman. Fleet Beacon. And I'll call it a rush, as in the grand scheme of things, at 140 supply, this is a huge reach. But reach for the Stargate. If you miss, well, you're probably screwed, as the saying goes. But he can't just keep fighting a conventional ground war. Clem has shown that these disruptors will be just disappointing. That's all he has to zone him out for now, though. I do wonder if he's going to try the carriers. That's so many Marauders. The Marauders on their own are dangerous here. Disruptor shot comes out. Clips 1. 2 carriers. He needs them. They take so long. They're so expensive. By the time they come out, will it even matter? Clem is just... Oh, he finds a hit. Fin probes have gone down, though. Meanwhile, MaxPax is supply blocked. Clem is playing so careful. His 4th base is locked down. Army staying dangerous in the center. Carriers about to arrive. 3 medevacs are sent out to try to get deadly damage done. It drops in towards the main. The forge just evaporates. The carriers are here, but I think that's enough Marines to just... Yeah, he just goes for the interceptors even. Slips into the medevacs, gets out. And while all this is happening, Clem, fully aware, looks like the disruptor caught him on the nose. But the rest of the army is still very dangerous. MaxPax holding. The Vikings, Colossi, or carriers. Both are good targets. And another army at the 3rd. The surviving Marines in the medevacs. MaxPax rotates around to defend. He gets 2 medevacs. It's something. Ship weapons level 1 about to complete. The Viking count continues to grow. Mass Viking is the order of the day. $11 Vikings and 6 more in production. Tanks are gonna siege up. Carriers about to finish +1 air weapons. Vikings on a pretty nasty angle here. Able to find any Colossi that move past. Disruptor tries to carve some space, but that's really all he finds. Just empty. 0 for 4 on Disruptor shots. The Vikings take a few hits on the Stalkers, clips a Marauder. MaxPax actually just attacked his own Nexus to kind of slingshot the interceptors out, which is a move I haven't seen in quite a while. A very dangerous one as well, but in order to activate the interceptors and get them out of the carrier, as they usually take quite a while to launch, he attacks his own Nexus and slings them out. Unfortunately, just not enough of them to chase down the army. MaxPax bottled up. The Viking count continues to grow. Marines find some of the probes. Long distance mining. 4 scans. MaxPax refuses to die. If Clem botches a fight harder than he's botched all the fights in this entire series combined, I think MaxPax has a chance. If every Disruptor hit lands and the Vikings fly over the Stalkers and Clem takes a quick water break, there's a chance here. But a drop into the natural. I don't think Clem's gonna oblige. Now the Disruptors are trying to come through, but the tanks are just pounding into the ground army. Robo-Bay down. 13 probes as well. Clem is just playing too well. He's got too much. MaxPax does not have a rich man's unit composition. I mean, he has a rich man's unit composition with a poor man's budget. He doesn't have the mineral income to even replace some of the interceptors. Disruptor shots. Okay, connections. He's trying to fight the interceptors outright. Drops to 30. Vehicle plating level 1. He's using the rocks to slingshot. Or I guess maybe just take down the rocks. Clem is beating him into submission here. 9 more Vikings. The income, well, yeah. I don't know what I expected. He's killing his own SCVs. Finally, someone who will kill their own units instead of sending them dramatically to the enemy. Clem is literally killing his own SCVs to free up supply. A drop into the main. The carriers will come back. The carriers are pretty much the entire army now. Another one pops out. Almost gets it. Gonna fight as many of the interceptors. He's just bleeding him out. He's actually winning against the interceptors here. To an extent. Disruptors. Well, Nexus is nearly down. The last semi-mining base. I don't think... It seems like this series might not end with a bang, but with an inability to balance the budget books. As MaxPax is desperately trying to find the minerals just to replace his interceptors. As Clem is not actually maxed out, somewhat awkwardly. MaxPax moves out. There are 65 interceptors. EMPs. The Viking count is so damn high. 30 Vikings! Oh, it's just too much. And MaxPax realizes it. Well, the kind of inevitable conclusion. Clem takes 3. Jimmy, please, uncloak. 3 in a row. Does kind of drag it out in that last match. But still, an incredibly high-level series. Clem just making no mistakes, and MaxPax catching the worst end of the builds several times over. But just exhaustingly high-level play. It'll be the Frenchman this time around. 3-2, but I hope you enjoyed. I hope I made your day a little bit better. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. If you have the means of motivation, awesome, check out Patreon. Otherwise, like, subscribe. I hope I made your day a little bit better. I think we already said that. We're going in circles. Thank you. Good luck. Have fun. Stay chill. Cut. Just stop. Just stop.